We begin with news coming from Nigeria's presidency, where we understand that President Bola Tinubu has congratulated the newly elected president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Afam Osigwe. Tinubu, in a statement signed on Monday by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, assured the new leadership of the NBA of his administration's support in addressing challenges affecting the association and the legal profession in the country. Osigwe is a former general secretary of the NBA, emerged as the president-elect in the 2024 NBA election, which was held online on Sunday. Meanwhile, one of the presidential candidates, Ikwuazom SAN, had midway into the election withdraw from the process, which he alleged had been arranged to favor a predetermined outcome. In a statement, Ikwuazom claimed that the integrity of the electoral process had been compromised. Joining us to discuss this is a legal practitioner, Taiwo Ojumu. Mr. Taiwo Ojumu, thank you so much for joining us on the news.
Thank you very much for having me.
To start with, how would you describe the person of Afam Osigwe SAN and, of course, his contribution to the justice system in Nigeria? You're a legal practitioner. We'd like to have head-on information about him.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, let me proceed by congratulating the person of Learned Sikh, Afam Osigwe, who just emerged, who is the current president-elect of the NBA. The man is someone that exemplifies the complete gentlemanliness, very gentleman to the core. The man put a lot of work. I mean, without prejudice to the other candidates. I mean, they all went around for campaigns. But Osigwe stood out for many of us. For some of us who are younger than the likes of Osigwe at the bar, he is someone that a lot of us look up to. It's the complete gentleman by excellence, the man who knows his onions. He says what he means what he says, and he says what he means. So that is just long and short of who the personality of Afam Osigwe is, the complete gentleman.
A fellow contender in the race, Ikwuazom SAN, alleged that the election was compromised. So would you say there was some sort of anomaly in the conduct of the NBA presidential election? That's the results announced Osigwe as winner.
Well, if you ask me, as typical of most elections in Nigeria, of course, we are not, I mean, some of us who have been keenly following elections in Nigeria, speaking of the bigger elections, talking about presidential elections, and the gubernatorial elections, it is not very unusual for there to be instances of complaints of irregularities here and there. And so I'm not particularly surprised about this coming from Learned Sikh SAN Chukwuka. Now, but for me, by way of personal opinion, I participated in the electoral process, and I do not see anything of sort. But then, for Learned Sikh to have made that kind of grievous allegations, I mean, I'm sure that he has his facts. And of course, I read the letter he wrote to the ECMBA, that is the Electoral Committee of the Nigerian Bar Association, requesting for some documents, and then also asking the body to ensure that they employ the services of an independent audit firm to look through the process. So, like I said, there's no smoke without fire. But by my personal opinion, I think the election was free and fair. I do not think there were much inconsistencies. I mean, if there are inconsistencies and irregularities, I think they are minor. I don't think they were overwhelming enough to actually sway the results of the election. So, yeah, but the coming days, we'll watch as the coming days unfold. Let's see the reaction of the electoral committee in the days to come.
Okay. Well, we know that you will be taking over from Yakubu Mekiowe SAN, and while appreciating the organizers and the contenders after that particular election, he said he's going to see to the protection and promotion of the rule of law. So what are the critical things you would expect Osigwe to address aside his statement as relating to the association first and then Nigeria's judicial system?
Yes. For me, I think one major area in the judicial system that a lot of people, particularly those who are not lawyers, who I mean, those out there who they have been complaining, what they have been complaining about basically are some of the inconsistencies in judgments and bench rulings that come out that emerge from the bench or from judiciary. It appears as though sometimes a politician, a big politician who has some change as well, can just approach the court and then get what we call Jankara ruling, and so the next day another court of coordinate jurisdiction will do the same. I mean, we release another counter ruling, and so these are some of the issues some of us expect Afam Osigwe to address, because that will serve as some form of, restore the hope of the people in the judiciary. Like the saying goes, the judiciary is the hope, the last hope of the common man. And so, if the judiciary, which is purported, which is arguably the last hope of the common man, is seen to be what's it called? Seen to be unjust, then that there's a big problem. And so these are some of the issues, some of the areas I expect the NSIC to look into.
All right, thank you so much. I'm Taiwo Ojumu for sharing your thoughts with us on this.
It's always my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Lekon.